Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Just before the commercial break, we're able to talk about the early developmental screen that's available in Irvine on the 21st of October. This is at INSTEPS, INSTEPPS. Now, Ji-in, you were just sharing with me that, when you go to work in the field, that your coworkers at the regional center says, it sounds like your son's delayed, but when going home, there's some kind of barriers, language-wise and culture, to accept some of these helps. I want to ask you, Larry, is it hard, or do you notice that if it's more difficult for Asian Americans to access some of these programs and services because of their language or their culture? And what does Regional Center do to help remediate or eliminate some of those barriers?
Yes, it can be, but it shouldn't be.
Okay.
And we focus very heavily on making sure every person that we serve, that's whatever the culture, has a service coordinator in that. So we have ample number of service coordinators that speak Vietnamese and are from the culture, actually.
Okay.
So you will most assuredly have, for Vietnamese, have a service coordinator that speaks Vietnamese and probably very familiar with the culture, to kind of hopefully help walk through that, because we have heard there is cultural barriers sometimes.
Right,
Is the family supposed to handle this more, or I'm supposed to be stronger, but once again, our goal is we all want our children to do the best they can, and that's what this developmental screening can at least tell you. Are you right and everything is normal, or is there some deficit areas, some delay areas that we more than likely can take care of? And that's why it's so important. And we respect all of us that are parents. It's not easy. Just doing the normal things of raising a child and taking care of all of that. And now I might have to add a little bit of therapy on top of that. But it pays huge dividends, and it's just you won't regret that, and your child will not regret that.
You mentioned that Regional Center is really good with addressing the language needs of the community, having service coordinators that speak Vietnamese to help families through the course. What about intake, Ji-in? When someone calls the intake number, are there bilingual Vietnamese worker that picks up the phone and answer these calls, or do the family have to ask for it? Is there a separate Vietnamese line? Can you share with the community so they know how to access those programs?
We don't have the separate line for the Vietnamese language because we feel like just one phone number is easier for the community to access. But once they call our general number, they just need to say Vietnamese. Our receptionist will be able to find somebody to get on the phone and then assist the family. Okay. So there is also an intake process that helps with Vietnamese. Correct. What about paperwork? Because sometimes, when I remember when I was young, every time there's a mail and it's in English, my parents freak out. Yeah, my parents like, here, you read it. And they make the kids, we're so young, we're in elementary school, and we're trying to translate these paperwork for our parents. Now, as an application in Vietnamese, or what are some of the needs, what are some of the things that Regional has done to help families in the process? Our application is in Vietnamese, Spanish, English, and Korean.
Okay, so multiple languages.
Correct. And family can fill out the application on paper. We can mail the application to the family. We have the application posted online via DocuSign for young parents who are very tech savvy. They can fill online and submit it, and we receive it right away. They even can fax the application to us. So that's multiple way for the family to turn in the application and to get connected to the regional center.
Okay, great. Larry, I love what she's saying, that depends on your ability to use technology. You guys accommodate. Some of us still like snail mail. I like paper. I like to print things out. And I know some of our families still need that. But for the families who are savvy, like she says, there's DocuSigns and email process of communication. So thank you for hitting those needs of the community linguistically, in a verbal way and also in a written way.
Cảm ơn quý vị. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với chị Yến, đó là chị Caitlin Trương của
Regional Center với Larry Landau, the Executive Director. Nếu quý vị thấy con của mình chậm phát triển, mình lo lắng, mình sẽ nên gọi số điện thoại của Regional Center, đó là cái intake, một lần nữa 714 796 5354. Mà chị Caitlin nói đó là nếu mà quý vị liên lạc cái số đây, mình không có biết nói tiếng Anh, mình nói Việt Nam, Vietnamese, thì có người sẽ connect quý vị cho cái người worker, người Việt Nam. Larry nói đó là trong của cái chương trình của Regional Center, họ có rất nhiều service coordinator, đó là giống mình kêu là cái worker là người Việt Nam. Lúc mà mình gọi để cho mình xin giấy tờ để ghi danh cũng có người Việt Nam. Lúc mà cái người đã tìm chương trình cho con của mình cũng có người Việt Nam. Đó là kêu bằng ongoing coordinator. Now, Larry, I'm just happy that that our Vietnamese and our community knows that there are bilingual services available. What I know a lot of people know is that want to know now is that now that I'm calling the regional center, now that I'm asking for help, what are some of the services that the Regional Center provides in Early Start?
Yeah, with Early Start, it really boils down to there's probably 3 major areas, and that's with the occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. Those are the areas, and some vendors will focus on one area, and then we have a number of vendors that focus on everything. So you get a kind of a whole person package. There a little bit of speech, a little bit of PT, OT. So lots of options. We've got a lot of great vendors, as you know, in Orange County.
Well, we're one of them.
Yes, that's right.
Also, OC Autism provides the speech therapy component of it, and we do the Early Start programming. I think we've been around for, I want to say, close to 15 years. I don't know the numbers anymore.
At least, yes, at least. And Early Start is a program. I think it's been since like 1988 or so.
Okay.
And across the country, it is a program that
so it's not just
works.
in California.
No.
Okay.
No. It's a federal program that absolutely has it. Like I said, it really gets dividends. If you don't get a child within normal limits and into school, then that's going to be a delay for a long time. Getting a child off to the right start, on the right start, there's nothing more important.
I like what you said. You said it gives you a lot of dividend.
Yes.
Because the people don't see it that, getting early started an investment.
Yes.
And it's really an investment in your child's development and also the trajectory in their ability to learn. Right. And for me, with OC Autism, we believe in 3 pillars, which is educate, empower, and employ. Yes. And that's really helping them be as independent and employable in their future. So thank you so much, Larry, for sharing that information. Julie, cảm ơn quý vị. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Larry Landau. Nếu quý vị thấy con của mình cần giúp đỡ về sự giúp đỡ của Regional Center, thì quý vị có thể lên website, đó là www.rcocdd.com. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Larry Landau and chị Caitlin Yến Trương. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.